The CEO Mindset is brought to you by
Hill & Company 12 Event Design.
You are now tuned into the CEO Mindset, bringing you trending topics that will engage you to level up in your business while equipping you to maximize your business opportunities and empower you to boldly step into your business brand and be more visible. This is the CEO Mindset. A CEO is bold, optimistic, vibrant, and successful, leaving a legacy, spreading money-making vibes with a wealth mindset to match her grind. She dreams big. CEOs have no limitations, and when obstacles come, they knock them down gracious. Choosing her own path, a CEO never lowers her aim for someone else's gain. She's wise in her steps. CEOs move in silence, breaking barriers, running businesses, securing the bag, making investments, creating perfect credit. Now that's the CEO Mindset.
Welcome to the CEO Mindset. I'm Nicole Gates, your brandologist.
And I'm Katrina Kimball, your holistic wellness consultant.
And every week we invite you to wind down with us. And today I am excited, right? So, Katrina, don't frown too much because I know Katrina, she doesn't like red wine, y'all. It's okay. Red wine is my favorite. Yes. Katrina is a white wine drinker, but it's okay. We're going to do red wine for all the red wine lovers out there. So today, I wanted to bring a wine that you can pretty much buy in any grocery store. And typically, I'm real picky about wine, right? I want a really good wine that has really bold flavor, right? Mm-hmm. And this one I found by accident, which is kind of cool. So this is a Pinot Noir, which is it's usually a really rich, bold flavor, right? Okay. But this one, if you are not a bold, rich red wine drinker, right? Okay. This one is sweet. It's actually a little sweet. Okay. So I really like this. This one goes well, definitely. We talked about popcorn and Olivia Pope and how she used to always have her big glass, right, of red wine, especially when she was stressed out, and the big bowl of popcorn, right? So we definitely have popcorn. It goes well with popcorn. You know, the balance is amazing, absolutely amazing. But what I wanted to talk about is this dark chocolate, right?
Oh, okay.
So dark chocolate is an antioxidant. And I know you being in the health field, right, you know all about things that are beneficial for us. Dark chocolate is also what? Heart healthy.
It's heart healthy, yeah. That's one of the best chocolates you can eat is one piece of dark chocolate. Yeah. And red wine is actually good for your heart too.
It is.
One glass. One glass.
And it should be what? 4 ounces?
4 ounces.
4 ounces of red wine to keep you heart healthy. So let's all go get some dark chocolate and some red wine. So I want to you want to try this with me, or you don't want to be bold? She doesn't want to be bold today.
I'm going to trust you to be
bold.
And
I'm violating. So I need to hold this by the stem. Of course, we always want to hold our glass by the stem because we never want to have our fingerprints on the glass. We don't want our wine glass cloudy. We want to be able to look at it, you know, and I always tilt the glass so you can kind of see. Even though it's a red wine, you can see through there.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, you can.
So red wine, Pinot Noir, dark chocolate.
Does that enhance the flavor of it?
It does. Definitely enhance the flavor of it. You remember when we were talking about wines, we always want to pair our wines. We're always looking for balance. So I'm just take a little sip.
Okay.
And I invite you to do this with me. So, dark chocolate, red wine, an amazing marriage.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
So, heart healthy. So, ladies, if you are suffering, especially ladies that are anemic, right?
Yeah, it's really good if you're
anemic. We have a lot of women that are anemic.
And I like that you pointed out that one is kind of sweet because most people make the assumption that red wines are all bitter.
They're not.
And they're not, but they do have some nice sweet red wines that are out there. And then it's good to try different wines sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, don't always go to your go-to like
right.
my wife. I do try red every now and then, just not today. But so I think this is a great wine. So have you ever paired it with anything? I know it goes red with red meat. So what are your favorite dishes?
So let me tell you what I did just recently.
So tell me that.
I love to cook, right? My girls will tell you I love to cook. Absolutely love to cook. So I made lasagna rolls. Had never made it before. You know, typically I just make a regular lasagna.
regular pan lasagna,
But
you
the
made lasagna rolls.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you actually, you know, you roll your lasagna noodle and you stuff it with whatever, you know. So I used Italian sausage. But in my sauce, when I was making my sauce for the lasagna, I actually put a cup of this Pinot Noir in there.
To kind of add to
the flavor was absolutely amazing. So I added spinach and onion and all this good stuff. It was so good. The girls were looking for it the next day. I was like, there's no more. I mean,
when you cook something like that, it's not gonna hang around.
And you know,
it's a really good dish.
Yeah, so it cooks down, so you don't really have a wine flavor per se, but it really makes the sauce. It's just a different flavor, and I mean, just the most flavorful lasagna you will ever have. So, really encourage, try it. Try it, even if you don't drink red wine.
It's a good one to try.
Yeah,
great.
You can definitely cook with it, but red wine again always goes well with red sauce, red meats. So you know your typical pot roast, you know, or something like that. You can serve it with dinner.
And then also it makes a great gift too. Another reason we talk about wines is because we realize that sometimes you get invited to networking events and you're not always sure what wine to drink, because sometimes you get there, they don't have a lot of options for you. So you can always use this as a great gift to give to someone also too.
Absolutely.
So today we want to talk about a topic that we find is kind of challenging.
It is.
Dealing with those invisible scars. A lot of times in business, there are barriers that you don't even see. And sometimes there are biases you don't see.
True.
Just like when you tilted the wine over and you could kind of see,
right,
but you had to tilt it to kind of see it.
Right.
And sometimes you had to hold up to the light. Sometimes we have to hold our business up to the light. Woo. And there are barriers and biases that can impact not only our business, but us as women that are in business. Invisible scars show up in all shapes, forms, and fashions.
They do.
And so one of the things I think it's important that we talk about is that when you get hurt in business, don't let the wound fester.
Ooh.
A lot of times when you're out here and you're working in your business and you're building your brand and you're moving forward, you know, sometimes we get hurt.
We do.
You know?
And we have to cross those hurdles, right?
Yeah.
So I hope everybody that's watching tonight has that notebook, that pen, and their glass of wine, because we want you to take notes. We always want you to take notes. We're going to always give you some nuggets that you can use in business, maybe could use in life. We're not sure, but it doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have some wine to wind down with it, right? So, invisible scars. Wow.
And I think that's a topic that we don't like to talk about, because most of the time when you're talking about having a business or being a professional, we always want to talk about the success.
Right.
We always want to talk about how great things are. But what do you do when you're in a season when things are not going great? What do you do in a season when you find yourself dealing with barriers and dealing with scars that you can't even see? So I invite you to come back with us and join us as we continue this conversation at the CEO Mindset.
Royalty Wellness Spa is committed to providing you with a quality service in an intimate and friendly environment. They offer anti-aging medical treatments that improve the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, fill lips, voluminize cheeks, and improve deep folds. They also offer treatments that can improve energy, decrease fat, and improve hair, skin, and nails. Call 901-779-2385. The Fruition Complex is a community of forward-thinking creatives and professionals who share a common goal of owning and operating a successful business. The Fruition Complex offers its members access to a collaborative work environment, invaluable networking opportunities, and a list of business development services. Call today, 901-779-2385. Align Therapy is a full-service community-based rehabilitation clinic specializing in manual therapy. They provide a more personalized experience for their clients. Align Therapy's goal is to help their patients become their best selves. Call 901-877-2244.
5 years, David. The time you served was nothing compared to the time that you weren't here.
I'm out here with both hands tied behind my back. You try me. You try me. You try me. No, 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 no!
7 challenges women entrepreneurs face and how to overcome them. Defying social expectations, dealing with limited access to funding, struggling to be taken seriously, owning your accomplishments, building a support network, balancing business and family, and coping with a fear of failure.
Welcome back to the CEO Mindset. Today we're talking about dealing with those invisible scars, those barriers and those biases that sometimes impact our business. So often in business, we always want to talk about that great contract we got or that great client we just got.
Gosh.
We always hear people talking about the success, but we don't often hear people talking about the struggle. And the struggle is real.
The struggle is real.
Anytime you're going for something, if it's definitely a business, it's going to be a struggle to it. So I have had conversations with women, and a lot of times we talk about these things, these invisible scars, and we talk about things that happen in our business that it's not like looking at a spreadsheet and you can see where maybe this contract didn't come in or this payment didn't come in. But when you're dealing with things that attack you emotionally and mentally in dealing with doing your business.
Yes.
And I think sometimes we have to understand that as women, whether we like it or not, there are still gender biases out there. There are still stereotypes when it comes to women. And sometimes even in your industry,
Right. Oh, yeah.
there are some informal networks that you may not know about, and sometimes people just don't tell you.
Right.
And I wanted you to kind of share your story because I know, Nicole, with you being a brandologist and you've worked in different industries, so you've done a little bit of everything from event planning to travel business, different things. I want you to kind of share your story, like how did you navigate that? Because we know that there are always going to be official channels and those informal channels. So tell us a little bit of your story about how you kind of worked and navigated through that, dealing with the barriers.
So for my event planning business, I think that just came natural, right? It was really easy, not a whole lot of barriers per se in that industry. But when I joined the travel industry, oh boy, that's a whole other beast, right?
Okay.
So the travel industry, because it's so vast and we have so many suppliers that we can work with for our clients to be able to book travel, you know. One thing that I had to learn very early on, because I was like, I'm not getting it. It's too much, you know. When you start in the travel industry, you know, you got all of these resorts and you got cruise ships and you got this and you got that, right?
Yeah.
It was like narrowing it down. Like, how do I narrow this down to what I really want to do? Well, I did a workshop with a lady, and I think she is absolutely fabulous. But I did a workshop. I spent a week in Atlanta, a weekend in Atlanta to train with her. And the one thing that I learned, she was like, you just have to kind of narrow it down to the people that you want to work with.
Okay.
But she gave us one little nugget, and it stuck with me. She was like, you got to figure out who those suppliers are.
Right.
Make it a point to introduce yourself to those suppliers, right?
Introduce yourself to the suppliers.
Absolutely. So I was like, how do I go about doing that? So when I got back home, you know, I sat and I constructed an email.
Okay.
And I was like, well, you know, I'm going to introduce myself to these suppliers and really talk to them about what it was that I wanted to do, where I wanted to concentrate in the travel industry, because like I said, it's so big.
It's a huge.
It can be overwhelming, right?
It's a $1 billion industry, and it's a lot. It's a lot of moving parts.
It's a lot of moving parts
in the travel business.
And what I found is there are some people that have been in the travel industry for years. They may have gone to school for it. I had no formal training for it.
Okay.
But it was just a passion of mine. So what I did was I actually sat down with each one of what we call our business development managers, right?
Okay.
And those are the people, they are assigned to each supplier to kind of help you navigate and be able to, you know, tell you all the perks of their particular property or cruise ship or whatever, right? And I formed relationships with those people.
And I want you to stop right there, because I think that's what's really important when you're in whatever your industry is, whether you're in real estate, whether you're in business, even if you're in the beauty industry, you have to go out and build your own networks, even if you have professional organizations. Right. I know my background is in human resource management. We used to have an organization called Society for Human Resources. Even when you have professional organizations, like even the realtors have a professional organization.
And travel agents.
And travel agents do
They
too.
do too.
But what I love about your story is that you were intentional and you went out and built your own network.
I built my own network.
And you did not just rely on the fact that you were a travel in travel business.
Right.
You did not just rely on that now I have a membership in this professional travel industry.
Right.
Now that I have this, how can I go out and move my company, move myself to get in front of the vendors
and
people I need?
it was very successful. I had more success by building those personal relationships with those business development managers, because their job is to help you sell travel, right? So of course they want you to succeed. So they actually, I mean, they sat down, they worked out a marketing plan with me, like really worked, you know, and I have most of them, I can call from my cell phone. I have their personal cell phones, you know, and we just have a really good relationship. But that has helped me to be successful in the travel industry, right? And be able to sell travel for my clients and be able to give them the accommodations that they're looking for. But that was something I had to, like you said, be intentional about and very strategic about doing.
Absolutely.
And I think in business, especially for our women, and I want them to understand that you have to be strategic. And sometimes it's not that big industry that you want to be a part of, and you want to be a part of, you know, like a chamber of commerce for, you know, or something. You have to be strategic about building relationships and going after those people that you see that you really want to work with.
Absolutely.
And it's okay. It's not stalking.
And I think that's the thing is, and that when you reach out to those individuals that you want to do business with, I think what's important is don't show up empty-handed. A lot of times, people are not willing to mentor and partner with you if you just show up with your hand out. So I think you should go with something to offer.
Absolutely.
You may not be able to take them out to a steak dinner at, you know, Seasons 52. But maybe you can meet them for coffee. Pay for them to have a cup of coffee, because there are informal rules to any type of business. And I think sometimes as women, we don't realize the importance of learning those informal rules and building those relationships. And when we come back, I want us to dive into this more and kind of walk through some tips and some strategies that you can use as you continue to move forward in your business, because we do know that in every industry, regardless of what it is, there are going to be barriers, there are going to be biases, and we can get through those invisible scars. So we invite you to come back as we continue this conversation at the CEO Mindset.
Wine? Because it's not good to keep things all bottled up. Enjoy the lifestyle of all things uncorked, especially when you're wine touring with Gates Uncorked. Gates Uncorked invites you to wind down and host your very own private in-home wine tasting with family and friends. Call 901-466-6703 to book today. Awaken Wellness Consulting mission is to aim, advocate, inform, and motivate individuals to engage in whole person wellness to address real-life challenges. Awaken Wellness Consulting strives to equip and empower individuals in the world to discover whole person wellness. Ready to change your life? Book a consultation at awakenwellnessconsulting.com. Make a statement without saying a word. Neckology 101 is a leading provider of eclectic and unique neck art in the form of jewelry. They provide an unparalleled selection of quality products, an easy shopping experience, expedited shipping offers, and exceptional customer service. Check out their collection online today. At Christy Taylor Consulting, we understand that consulting and coaching is key to your success. We provide insight and creative strategies in the areas of radio, TV, film, and music. We assist creative entrepreneurs and businesses with professional and personal development. Within our media training division, we offer entertainers and executives tailored programs to identify one's personal narrative, craft a compelling message, prep for media interviews, and public speaking. For your client discovery session, go to ChristyTaylorConsulting.com. 1015 Take the Shot Studios offers photography, shooting real-time moments, creating lifetime memories, and videography, connecting the dots, linking the past, creating the tapestry of the future. 1015 Take the Shot Studios, a visual storyteller in Memphis. It's time to pop some flair into your style at Iona's Closet. Wonderful clothes and outstanding customer service. A wide selection of casual and consignment clothes for the woman of style at Iona's Closet in Memphis. Hill & Company 12 Event Design.
Years, David. The time you served was nothing compared to the time that you weren't here.
Look, I'm out here with both hands tied behind my back, trying to make things right. Denise! No.
Hi, I'm Rod Kirby, and I'm a screenwriter, director, and producer here in Memphis, Tennessee. After completing my last short film in 2016, an interesting idea popped into my head. What if a father and son had to fight for their lives after the rapturing of the saints? The Prayer is a faith-based drama and thriller that follows the story of a man whose wife and daughter are taken to heaven during the rapture. He's left behind along with his son to pick up the pieces after they're gone. Years later, they must fight for their lives when they're visited by a partially blind psychopath who infiltrates their home by impersonating a minister. The Prayer is a dark and gritty exploration of what happens when we're forced to confront our sin and what it takes to earn redemption. After finishing the script last year, I saved a little money to start production on The Prayer. We were able to shoot the first half of the film early this year. Now we need your help to finish production in order to submit our project to film festivals. We need money for additional casting, production costs, and finishing funds for post-production. I want to personally invite you to join us in the making of The Prayer. If you're a fan of faith-based films like the Left Behind series, thrillers like Frailty, or tense family dramas, then this is the movie for you. We're raising production funds with the help of a platform called Seed and Spark. We have to raise 80% of our funding goal in order to receive money to complete The Prayer. Please consider pledging just a few dollars to help us reach our goal.
Here are 6 ways to overcome obstacles and limitations as an entrepreneur. 1. Move with positive thinkers. 2. Go back to your roots. 3. Don't give up. Keep trying. 4. Change your thoughts. Meditate on the right things. 5. Change your perception towards challenges. And 6. Don't overwork yourself. Outsource.
Welcome back to the CEO Mindset. We want to continue this conversation as we talk about dealing with invisible scars. And as always, we want to make sure we leave you with a couple of tips that you can actually apply to your business. We want to make sure that when we come before you that we're giving you tools that you can use. So
absolutely,
make sure you have your journal, have your pen. If you hadn't found it at the beginning, we want you to go ahead and locate it, because we want to dive into talking about how you, as that CEO, as that professional, how you can make sure you can navigate these biases and barriers that deal with business. So Nicole, will you kind of talk to us a little bit about what's important about, why is it so important that you keep your CEO mindset?
You got to do it, right? You just have to do it. Women in business need to understand, number one, we have a personal circle.
Yeah.
We have a professional circle.
Okay.
But you need to be very conscious who's in each one of those circles, right?
Okay.
Sometimes they cross over. Sometimes they do, because it crosses over for us, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they do cross over, but I think you need to be very aware of who's in your corner.
Absolutely.
And who is not. I think we'll talk about that every time, we have a topic, because that is so incredibly important, that you have people around you that can help you move forward. We want to always be able to, propel somebody else to move forward. So important. So that personal circle, we have some personal cheerleaders, and it's not always family.
Yeah.
Y'all don't want me
and I think that's key we have to understand is
not
that
always family.
Your family, and I think that's the point I want us to talk about.
Yeah.
Your family may not always cheer, because your family may not always understand what you're doing. Because you have to understand, when you have a person that works in a job, and there's nothing wrong with having a job, but when you have a person that has a business and this is what you're doing day in and day out, they don't understand what it takes to have a business, because they're not there with you.
Right.
They don't see the nights that you're sitting up working on proposals and rewriting. They don't see those things. So for your family, sometimes it's not that they're hating on you. Sometimes they feel like they don't know. And then sometimes they feel like they're protecting you, because they're like, I feel like I see you doing all this, but is it worth it?
And they don't want you to fail.
And they don't want you to
fall.
And they feel like, is it really worth you doing all this?
Right.
But when they don't understand the vision and the dream that you have, it's kind of hard for them. So sometimes you have to go out and recruit your own cheerleaders,
Yeah. And it's okay, so don't hate the family if they don't get it, because sometimes they just simply don't get it. But your professional circle is something that you can totally create.
Absolutely.
That professional arena, you can totally create that. That should be full of people that can refer people to you, that can give you some business advice, that that you can learn something from. Have a mentor.
Having a mentor is so key.
Have a mentor in your industry is huge. Don't think you are an island. Don't think that you know it all, because we don't know it all. We can learn from each other. Yep. I mean, we're in 2 different industries, but I learn stuff from you all the time.
And I'm always learning from you.
I struggle
with the PR piece. because I'm so into working with individuals, because the kind of business I do is very one-on-one or
Right.
in a training
Exactly.
setting. And so I'm always focusing on the content. And you have to remind me, Katrina, you got to brand the content. And so that's right.
yours,
Yeah, so you
right?
have to, and you have to
Your
recruit.
name should be stamped on it.
And recruit different people to be in your
Absolutely.
professional circle. You need
Absolutely.
somebody that can give you good sound finance advice. You need a good brandologist that can give you some good marketing and PR advice. You need a person that can talk to you about the IT side, because there's so many parts that goes into our business.
So many.
And we can't do it all.
We cannot.
And that's why it's
And
important.
we try, but we need to stop trying.
Yeah,
to
we do. We do try to do it
everything. It's okay. So create that professional environment. I think that's huge.
And I think another way you can battle these biases and barriers is make sure you focus on getting you some personal development.
Whoa, yes.
I see so many professional people and so many people that have businesses, but you don't ever go and sit under someone to get some additional training.
Yeah.
You always want to make sure that you go and get additional training, that you're always sitting under someone learning something else. And even if you can't go and attend in person, take a class online, because you want to make sure that when you are invited to come and sit at the table, that you're prepared.
Right.
If you are so focused on a past hurt or a past choice that didn't go well for you, when you finally are invited to the table, you won't have anything to offer. So another way you want to get around that is always make sure you keep yourself open for some development and some training.
So I want to pause there, because I'm thinking, the whole country has been under this COVID-19, this pandemic, right?
Yeah.
The cool part, and I think if people really value what happened with this, they'll look at the fact there's so many things that opened up in regards
Absolutely.
to personal development, where they can actually be online, take some classes that would have
Absolutely.
cost them thousands of dollars, right?
Absolutely.
Places are offering it for free.
Absolutely.
I've taken total advantage of that, right? So it kind of puts you in a different platform, because you always want to be knowledgeable, and I think you always want to be on the cutting edge of whatever industry you're in.
Absolutely.
So I think that's huge. Personal development is everything. So take advantage.
And I think back to what you were saying about with COVID-19, and I think what it also shows us too is where you have been investing your time and energy and when it was not being productive for you. You will start to see, well, maybe I didn't need to belong to all these different organizations. Maybe I didn't have to go to all of these networking events.
Right.
Because again, you're trying to make sure, especially with the way the economy is going, we want to make sure we're investing our time and our money into things that are going to be reproductive for us.
Yeah.
That's going to create that type of business that you are sitting up and dreaming about and take it into reality. Another way you can get around barriers and biases within your business is also understanding, making sure you're putting time in to do income producing activities. Do things that's going to generate revenue for your business.
Income what?
IPA, income producing activities.
Woo, yes.
The biggest way to get over a disappointment is to move forward towards your next goal. And I know it can be hard. I have my struggles too. I get disappointed too when things don't go my way. But what I do is I try to step back and assess, what I could have done different, what could I have done better, and then I try to move forward. So we hope that you have taken this time to listen to these tips and that you're able to move beyond these invisible scars that are affecting your business.
And those barriers we can definitely overcome. So
Absolutely.
I think that's awesome. As always, we want to remind you to remember where you started, celebrate where you are, focus on where you're going, and always trust the process.
We want to invite you to come back and join us next week as we continue the conversation around the CEO mindset.
Cheers.
The CEO Mindset is brought to you by
Hill & Company 12 Event Design.